Travis Wayne, Gitzel. So, Mormons do not know Mormonism. When they say that the church is true, they have no idea what they're talking about. Do you mean this current church? Well, it's obviously not true, because it's not Joseph's church. It doesn't follow the Book of Mormon. So what do you mean true? And Mormons, because they don't know Mormonism, they don't study, they have to respond with anger. They have to respond with abuse, violence, because they did not do their research. They are just puppets to the liars, telling them to go out and hurt people and lie to people, get them to pay the church money. It's not even a church, it's a corporation. They are using you as literal sheep to get paid. 1923, Articles of Incorporation by Heber J. Grant. So, the biggest bombshell of all will liken unto Adam Sandler. If you've ever seen an Adam Sandler movie, we won't count Spanglish. That was one of his more serious stuff, or his family ones, like Storybook, where he's the father running a hotel and it's got magical powers. We're talking the old school Adam Sandler. Alright? See, Christians, they're offended. He's just a horrible Christian. He needs Jesus in his life. His morals just are awful, and he's just a horrible, awful human being. Now, for Mormons, he's even worse than that. Mormons have higher standards and values. So Adam Sandler is way into the telestial kingdom stuff. He's just awful, abominable, of the devil. Literally, it's little Nicky. It is just crude, rude, and obscene. Needs Mormon Jesus. So what's the problem? Anybody know about a beam and a mote? It's from the Bible. Christians believe it's the Word of God. And yet, oops, Adam Sandler is Jewish. Remember the Hanukkah song? He doesn't have Christian or the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints values. That's not his morality. That's why you call him abominable, immoral, rude, crude, obnoxious, out of control. And so, what do? You want to take away his agency, force him to behave, don't you? Whose plan of happiness is that, Mormons? These are things that we get taught so that you can just sit and listen. You don't have to do any work. It's Lucifer's plan of happiness. When you are compelled to do things because somebody tells you to do them. When somebody says, obey me, or uses Jesus as cover. Obey Jesus. Okay. Are you sure you want me to obey Jesus? Last chance. Are you sure? Are you sure? Matthew 23. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Moses' seat? What's that? All therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not after their works, for they say, and do not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their underwear. I love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your Rabbi, even Christ, the one who's supposed to sit in Moses' seat. And all ye are brethren. Just skip down. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. He that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So yeah, I've dealt with Mormons who didn't understand that either. They publish a book of volumes of poetry for Mormons, and then he doesn't want to acknowledge that he did the volumes of poetry. He doesn't want to advertise them to make them available to people. You either have to know about them or you just never know. Because he's wanting to be humble. Oh yeah, I used to do things on poetry. And so because of all my wealth that I got from royalties, selling the books, I can retire and be a temple worker. Yeah, I met him. Should we see if I can find him? LDS poetry volumes. Poetry, best love poems. Especially for Mormons, volumes 1 through 5. I think that might be it. eBay, huh? Yep. There it is. Especially for Mormons. So, you can get the collection for $45. They're used. And then he doesn't even assign his name. He just will not be known. Stan and Sharon Miller. Yep, I sat next to him in the Jordan River Temple as we were waiting for our turn to be Jesus behind the veil. It was just, he just doesn't want any acknowledgement, any kind of credit. He doesn't want attention. He just wants to hide. Coast through life. That's exalting yourself in the reverse way. It's a pride thing, where you think you're being humble, because when you're truly humble, you're honest. You tell the truth. So, Jesus, everybody assumes he's humble. Why? He exalts himself. I'm Jesus. I'm your Christ. How is that humble? Because he's telling the truth. Now, this is just a story by the Jews. It's not Christian, so therefore it's not literal history. But hilarious. Okay? So, Christians who do not understand that their scriptures are not theirs, they stole it from the Jews and claim it's Christian now. And in so doing, call it literal history. And so they blame the Jews for murdering their Jesus. They argue that Jesus is a Jew. Jesus is a fictional prophetic character of a future period of time written by a Jewish author. That is the correct answer. Jesus is a Jew. Wrong. Thank you for playing. Get the hell out. Anti-Semite. And so, anybody pay attention to the news on that barrel? It went from hurricane barrel to tropical storm barrel to hurricane barrel again, and then it became tornado barrel. Yeah. None of the weather girls, the weather prophetesses and revelatoresses, never saw it coming. It's because they're not legitimate weather forecasters. It's a machine. And so therefore nobody saw it. But I did the video to help you be warned that such things are possible, and to look for them. Nobody cared. Everybody thinks that there is no threat to America. America will stand forever. God, Jesus, will prove that America is true. Just like Christianity. Right, Mormons? And so, hurricanes get their power from the water. If they're over land, they don't get power. They die as hurricanes. Tornadoes are a different thing. Different process. And so, as it only became a Category 1 when it hit Houston, it still caused severe damage that they still are not going to recover from for weeks at least, despite the crews being sent in to start fixing the damage. But it's because it was hugging the coastline to keep it low. And so yes, it's still built up, but Ventusky's path was slightly off. Needed to move it over a little towards the coast. As now, Ventusky has the correct information because it already happened. So you can go back in time on Ventusky and see what actually happened to Beryl. And so you can never see its original forecast that turned out to be slightly incorrect. Because now it's a fact that it happened. And And so, as it gained strength when it slammed into Houston, it continued on land. And typically it would die. And so, yeah, it did weaken as it became, rainstorms, as it moves up into the United States, but gets pushed by the natural wind that goes from the west to the east. The river of waters above the earth. And so it curved until it slammed into cooler temperatures, and thus it's like slamming into a wall. And so the pressure forms the tornadoes. And they're in western New York. And so we got category 3s, EF3 tornadoes, because of the intense heat slamming into the cooler temperatures. And so, yeah, it was able to then build on land as tornadoes. Wind for land for tornadoes, water in the oceans for hurricanes, and cyclones if you're out in the Pacific, monsoons, whatever. Okay, real easy breezy stuff, easy to predict once you know how things work. And it's been a pattern like this forever. After the floodwaters receded from the earth and dry land appeared, hey, that's just like the creation story and the flood story, which is also a creation story. But it was 10,500 BCE when it happened. So the pyramids were built before then? Why do Egyptologists lie to us? Why do they lie to us about the language and how to translate it? Okay, so, Christians have no right to call Jews antichrists. This has to do with chronological order of creation. Jews were first. Constantine created Christians. And so by creating Christianity, you don't just say Jews are anti-Christian, antichrist. They're against our Jesus. It's the Jewish scriptures. You're the anti-Semite. It's just like a bully in denial. I am not in the wrong. I did nothing wrong. Jews will not replace us. You just replaced the Jews. Bleep you. So, the Book of Mormon, predicting the future, warning of the storms of humanity that's coming, the threat to destroy America and leave it in blood-soaked America, where there won't be left a dog to lick it up. Lick it up. I'm searching in my head for a theme song in the description below, in case you didn't know. It's what I do. There's always a theme song. Times in the past where I've played around and had an opening hymn and a closing hymn. And so, yes, if you're offended, it's because you're using the wrong interpretation. Like a Christian. You don't understand. I'm just like Adam Sandler. And you can't say that Adam Sandler is the son of the devil because he's mocking Christianity. They don't believe in Lucifer. They have a Satan, but they don't understand that it comes from Set of the Egyptians who murdered Osiris. But regardless, let him play with his little dreidel. And so, 3rd Nephi chapter 7. I guess we should read it for you. Because you won't read it. I put the pictures up and you just take it for granted. Whatever that means. 3rd Nephi 7. Yeah, it's something about Jesus. Oh my God. So, Book of Mormon starts off saying that a king is put on the throne of America in 2017. A king. By foreign government. King. And so in 3rd Nephi chapter 7, prophecy and revelation, not literal history, hello. Astronomy. Remember the weather girls? Not astronauts, astronomers. And apparently they don't have it. Seriously? First female astronomer, Maria Mitchell. There's a cute little honey bunny. She's at the Center for Astrophysics at Harvard. We could do something with this. We could do something with this very well. See, I'm working on the thumbnail picture for you. Relax. Don't do it when you want to get to it. Prefer somebody with a telescope. This little cutie. Oh, seriously? Oh, dear God. Oh my hell. Ruined it. Ruined. Come on, guys. Discriminating against guys. Can't you figure this out? Like that. But bigger. Dear God, bigger. Ooh. Perfect. There we go. She's wearing glasses. Okay. 3 Nephi chapter 7. So, the first year in 2017, a king is placed on the throne of America by a foreign government. And so now 3 Nephi chapter 7, the year of 8 April 2024. Now behold, I will show unto you that they did not establish a king over the land. Oh, great, we can just let Trump do whatever he wants then. Because the Book of Mormon says he will not win the presidency. Oh, God. I just want to scream. Remember, utter destruction if you don't listen. You kind of have to have a responsibility to listen. If you just sit on your couch and complain about how my tone isn't appreciated, or how I'm ugly, or how my room is a mess, all excuses to deny the warning voice. Verse 40, the second vision. And you're not going to read it, are you? You just think you know. Probably something about Jesus. I don't have time to study scriptures. I just focus on faith. And screw that up. But in the same year, they did destroy upon the judgment seat, yea, did murder the chief judge of the land. And the people were divided one against another, and they did separate one from another, and thus they did destroy the government of the land. This is exactly what Trump said. If I win, I am invoking the Insurrection Act, and there will be blood. And if I lose, there will be blood. That's the whole thing. Dems are not getting it. They will not allow Democrats in power anymore. It will not happen. MAGA are fed up with a two-party system. They don't want it. They want to take away people's agency. They want a king. People are not getting this. Mormons are voting for Trump, wanting a king. Mormons who claim the Book of Mormon is true because they feel it, and then tears, and then they vote for Trump. I mean, this is just a mental disconnect that cannot be explained even by psychologists who create the problems of mentalhood. Out of all the stuff that they've created, they didn't realize that their creation would turn into the abomination that it has become. And so you get the Project 2025 guy saying, you know, as long as Dems just let us win, just let it all happen, there will be no bloodshed. What? Are you threatening us? Yeah. And so, we get to go to another news story that nobody is covering anymore because the church got involved. And so only I am keeping track of it. So, remember the Mormons who were sent by the church to perform Operation Congo Coup? And then got caught, and now they're on trial. See, the punishment for committing a coup in the Congo is death, and so they're facing the death penalty. And so their first excuse was that they were on vacation. Spreading their poo all over the walls of the Congo capital. We're just on vacation. I wonder where they got that from. And then they were presented in court, and and nobody could speak English and translate it back. And so the church steps in. A new missionary training center in the Congo at the capital, where these guys are getting tried for treason and coup and insurrection. Oh, God. But then they had their defense lawyers try to argue that it can't be in a military court. A coup against the government can't be a military court. And they're trying to get it into a civil court. Because they are trying to get away with their crimes. And so now that they've finally got a translator, thanks to the missionary center, they're now claiming that they were forced to do it. Really? Who forced you to go out there in the first place? Dear God. And so, yeah, if somebody is forcing you to commit a coup, for which the penalty of getting caught is death, and you're claiming you were forced to do it or they would kill you. Death? Your life is over. So the question is, how do you want to die? You want to die with honor and integrity, or do you want to die as a coward, a traitor, an insurrectionist? And so this is what America is now facing. Dems are having a big problem with this. They're in denial, they're in shock, they don't want to believe it's true, even though they all know what Trump is and what he's threatened. That there will be no election. If Trump wins, it'll be because he cheated, and he expects Biden to step down despite Trump cheating to win. If Trump loses, he will also cause bloodshed. Because Trump, if he wins, day one, Insurrection Act. The Dems are insurrectionists. They tried to overthrow the government under Biden, and it has to be stopped. And so everybody's going to get their own gallows big, massive assassination of his enemies. Doesn't need SEAL Team 6 anymore. And literally, people are going to have to flee the country to save their lives from Trump if he wins. People know this. When he handed over the government to Putin at Helsinki, he also said, Putin suggested I hand over our intelligence agents for questioning. Really? Yeah, Putin is now calling for Navalny's wife to come in for questioning. What happened to Navalny, the political opponent who was supposed to run against him in the election that Putin just won? Yeah, he's dead. He was considered an insurrectionist for just being a political opponent. He tried to murder him previously in multiple ways, mostly through water poisoning. Oh, your water bottle got poisoned. How did that happen? Oh, we're on the 4th floor? Let's go look out the window, shall we? Oh, chemical attack. Your family got hit in the chemical attack too, huh? Oh, your helicopter or small plane went down? You're dead? What a coincidence. Yeah, these are things Putin does. He's former KGB. And so here Trump wants to be just like his idol, Putin. Oh, Putin, I love you so. Don't be mad because I sent love letters to Kim Jong-un. Can we share? Is there room for me? And so the latest delusion of Democrats is now trying to get voters to win back the House of Representatives. Oh my God. They just don't believe. They just don't understand. I'm screaming. Literally screaming. As Democrats across this nation do not see the threat. They're in denial. They know Trump is a bad man. He's saying bad things. Oh no. Gotta control his behavior. How do we control his behavior? We've got all these psychologists stepping up and saying, yeah, well, he's crazy. He needs to pay us so that we can have a living. And since he won't, what about you? You're crazy too. We can help you with that. It'll take the rest of your life and all your income, but we can help you. And so, yeah. That's the latest thing now. They're, after failing to get the audience to say that Biden must be supported despite being incompetent to proceed and won't last another 4 years, now they're trying to say, well, we need to take back the House. That'll stop Trump. You're already giving up the presidency? Oh my God. No, you're not listening. You're not getting it. It doesn't matter if the Dems sweep the whole House and the whole Senate. It doesn't matter if before January 20th they somehow get a whole bunch of Supreme Court Justice nominees put in to replace the MAGA. It doesn't matter. Once Trump takes office, day one, boom, Insurrection Act, all of you who are my enemies die. Dems are in denial. They have no game strategy whatsoever. No military strategy whatsoever. Has there never been a Democrat? And so, pre-World War II, Republican, because the platform switched, that whole McCarthy scandal, the Red Scare. Republicans are now anti-commies, and the Dems become commie supporters. When before, the Dems were the KKK. And now the KKK is Republican. MAGA. And so, yeah, this is just frustrating. You know, when Roe v. Wade got overturned, women now are worthless scum again. Dems were saying, we're going to get out and vote. We're going to get our rights back. And then Idaho banned abortions and threatened to lock up any doctor who performs abortions. OBGYNs fled the state of Idaho to save their lives. And then SCOTUS, oh yay, Idaho can now do emergency abortions. By who? The OBGYNs are gone. By who? SCOTUS placated you to distract you away from the other stuff. Bump stocks. A-OK for Civil War II. Homeless. Been kicked out of your home during Civil War II? You're now illegal. You're a criminal for being homeless. And then lest we forget, the president can do whatever he wants. He's immune. And so yes, who's the president right now? Biden. SCOTUS just said the president is immune from any actions as president. This is real simple basic logic, and Dems just can't do it. Biden must invoke the Insurrection Act. It's the only way to save America, and he won't do it. Pejoran is refusing to invoke the Insurrection Act to put Captain Moroni in charge of it, to take down the Kingmen, because the Book of Mormon has to be proven false. This is so frustrating. So frustrating. The regulations of the government were destroyed because of the secret combination of the friends and kindreds of those who murdered Joseph and Hiram. And Mormons just will not accept it. Must not be true. It's got to be literal history so that we can deny likening the scriptures unto ourselves. Alrighty. So that's good enough for a video, isn't it? As programs are finished. Sorry, Coltrane. Still didn't get to you.